Well, good morning, friends. This is Pastor Lorri from First United Methodist Church here in Kirksville, Missouri, and it is wonderful to be with you this beautiful Friday morning. I don't know if you've had a chance to step outside, but the temperature is just perfect. The weather is just beautiful. There's a breeze and the leaves are blowing in the wind. Some of those leaves are beginning to change color and are falling down to the ground. The yellows and oranges are really beginning to catch my eye as I've been driving through and just watching. I can see even from where I'm at in my yard some of those leaves dancing in the breeze as they hit the ground. And so, as I'm thinking today, how is it with your soul? I wonder if any of you are noticing, like I am, that this change of seasons may change the way you answer that question. For me, fall is one of my favorite times of year. Now, that might not be true for you. You may be somebody who loves other seasons more. But I know for me, the 11 years we lived out in Phoenix, Arizona, fall was one of the seasons that I missed the most. It was one of the hardest ones to not really have. And the couple of trees that did change color, they did that the week before Christmas, which just felt wrong. And it just threw the cycles of life all out of whack. Fall was the season that I always missed the most. Just that change of color, the cool nights and warm days, even the leaves crunching underfoot as you walk through a sidewalk. Maybe you can tell I've grown up here in the Midwest. And so this changing of the seasons, this rhythm every year, was one of the things that sets my soul at ease. And maybe you're a similar kindred spirit who just loves fall. Or maybe you're not. And that's okay too. Because there are some people that fall doesn't bring that soul at ease. Instead, it's a kind of dis-ease. And the leaves falling and the branches bare afterwards, that's a sad and lonely feeling for some folks. Maybe it's a reminder of the letting go that we face. Maybe it's a reminder that death is a part of all of our experiences. And so maybe you recognize yourself in that loneliness and sadness, and maybe even a feeling of a little bit of despair as the season changes. I was thinking about this week as I was reading a book by Joyce Rupe, and she was reflecting on the changes of autumn. And she was saying that even though this season brings those reminders of death, there's also movement toward life that is taking place behind the scenes in the fall. And she writes, dead leaves that seem to have no value will be transformed by winter snows and spring rains to become rich humus for new growth. The barren branches already bear the potential of new green in their terminal buds. Autumn is a necessary transition between summer's fruitfulness and spring's new life. And I love this next piece that she says, no new growth will come unless autumn agrees to let go of what has been. The same is true of our lives. And I really appreciated that reminder because sometimes I like to try to hold on to things, especially the times and the seasons that have been so good and that have been filled with so many joyous moments, I like to try to hang on to. Sometimes it's even in the middle of a time that hasn't been so very good, but you finally found something that worked, something that was getting you through, and then everything begins to change again. And that ongoing change in life, I know I see it with my kids as I'm a parent. Just when I think I've kind of gotten the hang of one stage of life, everything changes. And then you have to revisit things again. And this reality that in order to embrace what lies ahead, we need these seasons of letting go. And that can be really, really challenging. So I'm wondering if this October, as we're looking at all these beautiful changes in scenery, or maybe the somber changes in scenery, depending on how we see the world, I'm wondering if maybe we can embrace the reality of life's necessary changes within us as well. Embrace those changes that are going on in whatever seasons of our own life we're finding ourselves. And so as we walk through the leaves, as we marvel at the colors of the trees changing as the warm days and cool nights surround us, maybe as we gaze at those changing trees, we can ask, what have the roots of our life been? Those people and experiences that have nourished us the most. What's the bark? Those places and people where we find protection and comfort from all that life brings our way. And then where do we see the changing leaves of our lives? Those things that maybe we need to let go of as a part of the transformation that God is working within us. And maybe as we're recognizing those things, maybe we can celebrate the changing of the seasons in our own lives, trusting God's promises that it's in the letting go that we're freed for new life. And so this morning, I want to leave us with a prayer for this change of seasons. God of the seasons, there is a time for everything. There's a time for dying and a time for rising. And as we enter into the process of transformation again and again, fill us with courage. God of autumn, as the trees are saying goodbye to their green, letting go of what has been, as we too have our moments of surrender, with all their insecurity and risk, help us to let go when we need to do so. God of the fallen leaves that fall into colorful patterns on the ground, help us see the patterns in our own lives. And as we see the patterns of change and letting go of growth and surrender, may we learn from them. God of love, reassure us that you are in our autumn seasons just as much as you are the spring and fruitful summers. You're in our deepest places of inner dwelling. You are the heart of transformation. You give us glimpses of truth. And so may we allow our experiences of autumn to speak to us of necessary change and growth. Open our hearts and our lives to this continuous process of letting go and moving on that's part of our human condition. We are so grateful that you are our faithful companion on this journey, whatever season it brings. Amen. Well, friends, I hope to see you this Sunday for our worship, whether that's online or in person. If it is in person, we encourage you to sign up ahead of time. That helps us prepare so that we have enough communion elements ready, things like that. You can also listen by phone if for some reason internet doesn't work great, 956-0054. And that recording is usually posted by 11 a.m. on Sundays and then is available until mid-morning on Monday. So may you enjoy this beautiful autumn day. Whatever this weekend brings, know that you are not alone. God is right there with you. And I'll see you here again next week. Have a wonderful day, friends.